Hi, my name is Royce, and you're watching the next part of the third mini section for foundations, where I talk about the three A's that I talked about in the previous videos for verbs and action items. The first one was one, asking questions. The second one is analyzing and assessing problems and solutions. And this third one we're going to talk about in this part is applying and assimilating. So basically, to put yourself into action, to execute, and to understand like the consequences, causes and effect. So after you're done like analyzing and assessing a problem or situation, it's always good to apply what you've learned, right? So many people in this world have been told many things, good things or bad things, how to improve, how to not improve, what they should do, what they should not do. And most people, they don't really apply it. You'll find that sooner or quicker. And I'm not sure why. That's just some phenomenon that people have. But for people that do watch this, we will go over from the rich perspective and a poor perspective, just the mindset of it. But for every individual, such as yourself, it's always important to apply the things that you want to accomplish and then assimilate. So let's go into the rich mindset, or like how a rich person views applying and assimilating. So rich people, they already have sort of blueprints or general guides because they already have wealth they can work with. They already know who to talk to. They've got so much knowledge already. They have a whole vast network of resources, right? Like I mentioned in the very first part of this foundation section. So they're literally not that worried about how they're going to maintain their wealth or multiply their wealth unless they're going to be an absolute degenerate or just not follow it at all. Not to say that there is no wrong lifestyle, alright? This is a guide to be timeless and to just empower individuals to hopefully become better versions of themselves for the remainder or the rest of their life. But anyways, back to the main point. Where the rich people will try to apply what they learn is from their past mistakes, right? They're not going to look to solutions that have already worked because most solutions that have already worked or made someone successful is not going to work again. It's just how life is, because it just has that effect of degradation. Like if I make a cell phone and someone else makes a cell phone and the next person makes a cell phone, the success is not as great, right? So that's just how it is. And most of the ways that rich people apply this is by testing, like making multiple products, trying multiple things, and managing the risk, and being able to assimilate from all types of ideas. They like to borrow ideas from all rich people borrow ideas from each other to make some sort of new product. And that's how most rich people will like think in that kind of. A good example from this, how rich people apply and assimilate, is look at most of the technology that we have today. A lot of successful companies, they basically kind of have their own niche and borrowed some aspects from other companies. I could name a few companies, you already know some, like Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, or X, um, WhatsApp, Messenger, Google Chrome, Edge. Like they're basically all the same thing, but they cater to like some certain feature more or have some certain niche, right? Because they assimilated, they took in, gather their own information, looked to some other problems or solutions like by analyzing the market, and they made their own product basically. That's how most rich people do it, and that's how they become successful all the time. It's not by taking a lot of risks, it's by just making a lot of small products, I guess, that hit eventually. Now, in the poor people's mindset, to apply and assimilate, we are just force fed information, and it's up to us to apply them or gather it on our own. But I'm going to explain it in simpler terms. When you are having a certain action, doing something, and you want to make sure that you're doing the right thing, right? It's always important to gather information, assimilate, and then think about the action and the consequences. Because what's going to happen is basically the butterfly effect. And yes, maybe you make so many mistakes in your life, and it may feel like life is not going to improve, but just see it through the end because you only have one life, and it can. And as I was saying, life only gets worse if you allow it to. Yes, there are some certain situations that can go out of your hand, but for the most part, you can prevent those situations. Like, yes, certain things like war and other natural disasters are forced on you, but it's not what happens during those times, it's what you do after. Remember, that's the most important part about, empowering yourself as an individual and growing and learning as a person. It's not about what happens, it's about what you do after. Yes, people can lose everything in their life, but if they show empathy, and it's hard, I understand. That part I can't really go into detail in this section, but I will go over that in the next section. But the butterfly effect is very important, It's such an important concept that everyone should learn. It's basically everything you do in life has a consequence, and yeah, you just have to live with it. But I wouldn't worry too much about it, even if you're a successful person or a poor person, because things can change, and things can change instantly and drastically, or it can just be slow and docile. So don't try to have bad thoughts about the future because the future hasn't came yet. All right, that's it for this part about applying and assimilate. Let me just make a short conclusion again. Remember, for yourself to grow and learn as a person, always assimilate, gather information for something or anything that you're trying to do, and then combine them all together, and then apply what you want to do. And always remember that all actions and stuff that you do have consequences, which leads to a butterfly effect. Like something you do in like 5 years before may impact you 10 years later down the road. So just be consistent, and we will go over more things like that in the next sections. So that's it for this part. In the next video, we're just going to do a recap, and I'll see you in the next one.